welcome to another day of Start Your Day with Yay. So we got sad news to report to you today. Everybody knows my beautiful girl here, Jackie. We have bad news for everybody. Jackie's not doing well. She's not going to be with us much longer. We're doing everything we can to keep her out of her pain. And as you know, she is pretty much with me 24/7 out of the day. We had gotten up. She wants to get out of the camera. She's a little camera shy. Doesn't want to be talked about. So we had got Jackie back in 2011. She was a rescue. She was 2 or 3 years old. We are guessing at that age. And she was from a breeding mill. They were using her in a puppy mill. And she was always in a cage, and she never had a name, never was around people. So when we got her, she was very scared and intimidated of people and afraid. And we just fell in love, and now she just is always by my side. So we don't know how much longer Jackie has, but she does have a wish, and we're trying to make this wish come true for her. We need help in locating the person who shot this dog and fatally gave the bullet and killed this dog and disposed of the body on Silvernails Road in the town of Gallatin, New York. We have gotten many complaints about the town of Gallatin, New York, surrounding Mr. John Rilley, the town supervisor, and he's also the Columbia County Board of Supervisors, and Lisa DeLeeuw. There is, and I'm begging everybody to call 518-398-7519 and ask Mr. John Rilley and the town clerk of the town of Gallatin, Lisa DeLeeuw, what is going on in the town of Gallatin. There are multiple reports of dogs being threatened in the town of Gallatin, New York by town officials. There is a video that has surfaced of Mr. Rilley, town supervisor, kicking a cat. That video has not gone public, and I don't believe it's gone to the New York State Police yet, because the person that obtained that video is scared and afraid of the repercussions and what might happen to them. Now, we have been in touch with Investigator Rilley of the New York State Police and Investigator Weed of the New York State Police. You know, everybody knows Investigator Weed here in Columbia County. He's Skip Weed's son of Hudson. He used to, so everybody knows Investigator Weed. And the public has no confidence within the New York State Police or the Columbia County Sheriff's Office to solve this case, for fear of retaliation and the political connections and the threats that are coming out of the town of Gallatin, New York. So, we have many different things. We have a video of John Rilley that someone is in possession of, kicking a cat along the side of a road. We have a canine that was shot down in the town of Gallatin, New York. We also have many letters, and there's only one that we will show you. Many letters. This one is from Kelly O'Rourke. There is an ongoing issue with this town harassing veteran service dogs. Just too many coincidences. Hope the police take this seriously, and it's heartbreaking. There are many reports of Lisa DeLeeuw. And there's another video that we have not obtained yet. We are working on obtaining it, of Lisa DeLeeuw being abusive to elderly people in the town hall that she believes are either poor, they don't have any rights, and she can treat the elderly and senior citizens very abusive in the town hall. Somebody had actually got that on recording. We are trying to obtain that video completely. There have been letters to the office of the agent of Lisa DeLeeuw's behavior, and people trying to get help out of the office of the agent to figure out what is going on in this town. So I am begging everybody to call 518-398-7519 and get a hold of John Rilley and Lisa DeLeeuw and ask them what is going on in the town of Gallatin, New York. There are many reports of Mr. Rilley, and these are only accusations, of having alcohol abuse problems. There is reports of Mr. Rilley's own wife and kids leaving this man to get away from the abusive relationship. Many people have reported that to us. There is many shell companies that this man is connected to. One of those shell companies, one of the sheriff deputies, a resident deputy, is working for off the books that John Rilley owns. Lisa DeLeeuw's husband works for Coach Farms. Somehow John Rilley is connected to Coach Farms. And there is multiple reports of animal abuse that have gone uninvestigated on Coach Farms by visitors on the weekend. Multiple reports of Coach Farms animal abuse down in the town of Gallatin. All connected back to Supervisor John Rilley. I am asking every animal rights group, we need to figure out why the town of Gallatin, New York, is threatening people's dogs, threatening veteran service dogs. And now we have a beautiful German Shepherd that was 2 years old, found shot dead and dumped on Silver Nails Road in the town of Gallatin, New York. There's many rumors surrounding this story, but there's also videos that back this up. There's many complaints of the town of Gallatin, and there is zero confidence in the New York State Police. We tried getting a hold of Investigator Rilley a couple weeks ago. It took several days to get a return call back after multiple attempts, and finally, Investigator Weed of the New York State Police finally called us back. So I don't know how helpful the New York State Police is being on this. The surrounding alcohol issues, if he does have an alcohol problem, Mr. Rilley, I know people that would be more than happy to get you help. But the biggest issue is what is going on. Why are seniors being abused in the town of Gallatin? Why are dogs turning up dead in the town of Gallatin? And why are multiple people saying that their dogs have been threatened for political vendettas out of the town of Gallatin officials? Those are questions we're asking. We're asking you, Mr. Rilley. We are asking every animal rights group to bog this phone number down at 518-398-7519. So now you go back into, it's not the first time that the town of Gallatin has had issues. We've been back in there. There is a lot of stuff surrounding Lisa DeLeeuw and her family. And it goes all the way back to the state of Arkansas, where her son-in-law dropped out of the Senate race in the state of Arkansas. And we have been in touch with multiple people out of Arkansas and Lisa DeLeeuw. And the campaign financing Elliot Spitzer, former governor of New York, his donations to DeLeeuw and her son-in-law, Joshua Mahoney, former candidate for the Senate race in Arkansas. There is so much odd stuff going on in the town of Gallatin. There are reports of John Rilley. He is a developer. Everybody needs to understand he is in this for development. There is multiple reports of a senior complex that was supposed to be built in the town of Gallatin, which is now geared all for second homeowners of New York City residents. Has nothing to do with senior housing. So I'm curious, John Rilley, what sites and properties do you have on down there in the town of Gallatin? What connection do you have to any of the abusive threats to the dogs and the canines in the town of Gallatin? And who is responsible for this beautiful German Shepherd, 2-year-old German Shepherd, getting shot in the town of Gallatin? So again, I am asking everybody, and Jackie is asking everybody, it's her last wish, and we need to make this come true. We need to find out who is responsible for killing this dog. 518-398-7519. I am asking everybody to share this to every animal rights group, anybody that has, and seniors, and the abusive relationships that the town of Gallatin has with the seniors in the town of Gallatin. What is going on in Gallatin, New York, in Columbia County? It's amazing what you can get away with in Columbia County if you are connected to a sheriff deputy, a state trooper, or the Columbia County District Attorney, Paul Scheika. We want to know how this dog ended up found shot dead. We want to know how a veteran service dog was threatened. We want to know all from the town of Gallatin, New York. All right, I'm going to leave the rest of that alone. I am begging you to call 518-398-7519, the town of Gallatin, and call the Milton, New York State Police Barracks, and Investigator Weed and Investigator Rilley to do their job and hold anybody accountable, even if it's a political official that had something to do with the death of this dog or the threats to service animals of veterans. That's still a crime. You know, if you're going to threaten people's animals, and this has been going on for a couple of years now. We have reports back to last year of threats to service animals in the town of Gallatin. And it seems to be surrounding a land deal. Now, don't forget, Lisa DeLeeuw's husband is the tax assessor for the town of Gallatin. And we had multiple people say that they come forward, that they're afraid that their tax assessment will go up and they won't be able to afford their taxes anymore. There is so much threats and intimidation coming out of this man's town hall and surrounding the town officials in the town of Gallatin, New York. One more time, 518-398-7519. Bog that phone down. Call the New York State Police out of Millerton and Troop K. Bog their phones down to make sure that they're holding these people accountable, whether they're connected to them or not. All right, we're going to move on to the next story. So if you've been following our other stories of the Riverview taxis and the medical transportations and the taxis versus deliveries here in Columbia County, yesterday it was brought to us that one of the taxi companies had put up an ad, and they've been advertising on Facebook. And we had called MAS, which runs all the taxi Medicaid services for Columbia counties and all the counties within the state of New York. And there's a link on the MAS website right back to the Columbia County Board of Supervisors. It's supposed to go to Columbia County DSS, but when you click on that link, Columbia County DSS, it sends you to Clinton County DSS. But they are actually advertising now, and we have multiple reports. Let me explain this. We have multiple reports of medical transport companies. You are to call MAS, request a ride, this one is particularly medical transports. Call MAS and request review for your medical appointments. Request Riverview for your medical appointments and earn discounts up to and including free taxi rides for your personal transportation needs. Call Tony for details. This was sent to us yesterday. We called MAS because we also have reports of gift cards being offered. We have reports of free groceries being offered. Different reports of different stuff, and now we're getting that if you call and request this one particular taxi company for medical transportation, that they will give you discounts and free rides for your personal use. Well, we called MAS, and they said it was Medicaid fraud. So we're following up. How do you feel about this? And the Columbia County DSS knows all this is going on. This has been going on for a couple months. I brought this to everybody's attention. So what is the Commissioner, Robert Gibson, doing to protect everybody's money? And why are we sending business to certain livery companies or taxi companies for medical transportation, why they're profiting off it and then offering free rides and free transportation needs by suggesting you call and request their company for a taxi ride or for your medical transportation needs? Again, MAS is calling it Medicaid fraud. We have filled out the form. We were on the phone with them yesterday. MAS really needs to check their website. Like I said, the MAS will bring you back to Columbia County. It will put you to the Columbia County Board of Supervisors. But when you click on the social service links, it brings you to Clinton County instead of Columbia County. So there's so much fraud going around on the Medicaid thing, and we're questioning this, and we're looking into this, and we're also filing a complaint. And we're going to also send this to the Attorney General's office. If you pay attention, there's a lot of Medicaid fraud around the medical transportation. And there's been a lot of arrests out of Albany, Long Island, New York, from the Attorney General's office in the same similar fashion of what's going on here. All right, so folks, that's our show today. We really want to know what has transpired in the town of Gallatin with this beautiful dog being shot, 2-year-old dog. What does John Rilley know about the threats coming out of his town hall to residents? One in particular, a service dog of a veteran. There's another dog that we're aware of. What about the video of him kicking a cat? When are we actually going to get that video and get that video up? What is the New York State Police out of Millerton doing about it? Or Middle? And I just beg you to call this number, 518-398-7519. All right, that's our show for today. And don't forget, The muckraker needs to know what's wrong in your community.